Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's small business webinar. My name is Paul LaChapelle. I'm with Montana State University Extension Community Development Program, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all this morning to the webinar. I'd like to remind you all that we are recording today's webinar, and we'll be sharing that archive link on our website and also on our listserv. And you can access all of that information via the website that I've posted in the Q&A. So I encourage you to check out the information about today's webinar as well as previous webinars. And we do have information about joining our listserv as well. Today's webinar is sponsored by the Small Business Development Centers, which are affiliated with the Montana Department of Commerce and the U.S. Small Business Administration, the Montana Economic Developers Association, and Montana State University Extension Community Development, with additional support from the Great Falls Development Authority and the University of Montana. You can see I've posted some tech support information there. If you have any questions or problems during the webinar, feel free to call or email at the information I've posted. You will have an opportunity to provide questions and comments at the end and also anytime during the webinar. So feel free to just type those into the Q&A and you can see that again at the bottom left of your screen. And I will interrupt John, if he, our presenter today, if he doesn't see the question, and we'll get those answered again during the webinar or at the end. So now it's my pleasure to introduce today's presenter. John Harris is a social media marketer, planner, and coordinator with Speaking Socially Media, LLC, and they're based in Great Falls, Montana. So again, it's a pleasure to welcome John. John, take it away.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate the warm welcome. Are my audio levels okay? You can hear me clearly?
Just fine, yep.
Okay, perfect. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Today we're going to be going over Facebook in your business and just some tips on how you can find and engage with your customers on Facebook. As Paul mentioned, that's my primary role here at Speaking Socially, in addition to the other services we offer. I could talk about social media for hours on end, so I'm going to kind of skim what I like to call best practices today for building and engaging with your customers on Facebook. And if you have any questions, shout those out. I'm going to go pretty briefly just because we have a short amount of time, and we'll go ahead and launch in. So the first thing that we're going to cover is, why should my business be on Facebook? Well, Facebook is still the most popular social media platform that there is. 79% of Americans use Facebook, and the demographics on that break down to about 83% of women and 75% of men. Users tend to spend about an average of 35 minutes per day between all platforms, whether they're on their laptop, they're on their mobile phone. That time is spent on Facebook. And 76% of consumers that are on there want to connect with the businesses that they engage with. That means if they use, Tide detergent, they want to be connected with the Tide detergent page. They want to know what's going on with the company, what the new product rollouts are. And the most important reason that you should be on Facebook is, more than any of the other medias I work with in a daily basis, social media is a direct pipeline to your current and potential customers. And what I mean by that is, you get instant engagement, instant return and results. You can put a question out and get a response from your questions, from those questions from your consumers immediately. That's not something that you can do with more traditional forms of media, such as television, newspapers, and things of that nature. So it really does allow you to take your business to a new level and make changes to pull in customers and interact with them on a level that we could not before social media existed. So if you have not started, and I apologize, I know I say a lot, if you have not started a business page yet, I just want to go over the basics of running a business page. And you can see we've got some thumbs up and thumbs down. So you do want to start a specific page for your business and not run it off of your personal profile. And this is why I say this, especially in the times we're in now. You should not be mixing your personal interests with your business interests. There are many things that on a personal level you might feel are acceptable to post and laugh, or maybe it's just, a meme that you found funny that your friends wouldn't think anything of, that could be taken out of context on your business profile. So for that specific reason, we want to keep those two things separate. Um, do invite friends, family, current customers to like and follow your page. Likes are important. They're going to help you with organic reach, which we're going to talk about later, which is going to assist you in finding new customers with similar interests. What I don't want you to do, and what I've seen people do in the past, is there are tons of places out there that will offer to get you tens of thousands of followers for X amount of dollars a month. The important thing about likes on Facebook is that they be relevant likes. And it's highly, highly important to your business. If you only sell within the state of Montana, having somebody that likes your Facebook page in Germany or China is flattering, but it's not really going to do anything probably to drive sales, which is what we're interested in. And so it's very common now to see people, I have 10,000 likes, I have 20,000. It's important that those likes are relevant. So if you have a Facebook page and your likes are low, you have 300 or 500, if they're relevant likes, if they're people that are within your demographic, within your state, that are able to come and purchase your product or purchase your product online, that is exponentially better for your business than 100,000 likes of people that are profiles around the world, pardon me, that will never engage with your business or make a purchase. Another do for your Facebook page, consider small promotions, discounts, giveaway to encourage people who are within your demographic to follow your page. It doesn't have to be anything large, but you want to make this simple so that the customer can do it easily. Unfortunately, when it comes to social media, we tend to get a little lethargic and lazy. If a contest rule is too difficult or there's too many steps involved, depending on what the prize is, people might just tune out and not want to do that. So I usually suggest keep it easy, give them a small gift certificate for your store. This ensures that the customer is going to come back into your business, that money is going back to your business, or you're just giving away product. For example, I wouldn't give away a $25 Visa gift card because they could use it somewhere else. And the purpose of this is to drive them back into your business. Simple questions. What's our favorite product that you enjoy? When is the last time that you stopped in? Comment below with XYZ. Get them to engage with that post. I'm going to explain why that's more important later on. And it's a simple thing that you can do that we've had really great results with all the businesses that we work with. I think currently I'm the head on about 20 different business pages that we manage, and we maintain social media for them and do all of their posting. So I can tell you flat out, this does work. It does not cost you a lot as a business, and it's an effective way to engage with your followers and gain new followers as well that are relevant. Okay, next best practices. What should be on my page? Your business hours, a link to your website. Now, the link to your website, I just want to clarify on there for a little bit. If your site is old and out of date and does not have relevant information, then A, you want to get that taken care of, but B, that might be something you want to consider omitting for the time being, especially if you're going to primarily funnel potential customers and current customers with information through Facebook. Number 3, your location, obviously, if you're brick and mortar. Number 4, high quality photos of your logo, your product, and your storefront. And I really cannot stress high quality enough. Everybody knows somebody now that has an iPhone 6 or higher, that has an Android phone that can take good quality photos. The quality of what you post, and I'm sure this will be covered in other webinars and seminars that the GFDA will put on, is imperative, because that tells the consumer subconsciously what you think about your product. And also it kind of gives the consumer a feeling about what kind of quality they're going to get in the product and how you take care of your business. So quality is important. And number 5, reviews. I know people are terrified about reviews, but again, I'm going to come back to that later. They are important, and they are a great way to gain new customers. Okay, posting basics. Posting is important because this is how you are going to find new customers on Facebook and encourage customers that are already customers of your business to return to you. I will tell you right now that our analytics show us that about 43% of people that like a business page on Facebook are more likely to recommend that business to their friends than brands that they don't engage with. And 23% of that number are more likely to be repeat customers of that brand. Okay. So we're going for engagement, reach, and interactions. But what does that mean? Well, reach is how many people we can get to see a specific post. Interactions are people that we say like the post, or they might put like the laugh or the smile emoji. But engagement is the thing that you really, really, really want to go for. Now, social media, as simple as it sounds, should be social. But businesses tend to forget this all the time, and it's a great way to lose customers. You can engage with social media. You and I can have a conversation back and forth. You can't do that with a billboard or with a television commercial. You can talk to your TV, but people might think that you're off your rocker a little bit for the day. But you can do that with social media. Ask your followers questions in your posts. Give them a reason to comment back on the post and then reply to them. The reason that this is important is this is what we call, it gets you organic reach. The more that Facebook's algorithm sees that a post is important, that people are engaging with it, they're talking, they're liking, they're sharing it with your friends, that will cause Facebook to say, this post has high relevance and it gets good organic reach. And therefore, it's going to share that post further and reach more potential clients than it would just a static post that has no likes or no engagement behind it. Always, always, always aim for organic reach. And the number one reason is because it's free. Organic reach doesn't cost your Facebook business anything, and it's a great way to pull in new customers. I see many, many businesses starting out on Facebook make a classic mistake, which is they put a post out and then they put a very large budget to boost it right afterward. It's not a best practice. You might see 2 or 3 days later, nobody has commented on that post, nobody has liked it or engaged with it. So inherently, there's something not good about that post that's not grabbing your customers. And that would have been better if you wait and hold on to that budget to see what customers really are liking. What are they engaging with? What are they interacting with? That's where you want to put budget behind are those posts. Always keep to an 80-20 rule with your business posting. Again, it's not a billboard. And I realize that the page is about your business, but you need to make it 80% about the customer and 20% about the sales pitch. One of the pages that we do, I post memes on Friday, on Monday to give people a laugh. You want to make them feel connected. It doesn't always have to be the hard sales pitch. It could be today a comment about the weather. What are you doing to stay warm? Make your customers feel like you care about them and you care about their feedback. That will ensure that they stick with your brand, and also it makes your brand more relevant. And again, they're going to be more likely to refer you to friends. You're going to stay top of mind with them by those types of posts. Again, quality is key. Blurry photos, things that don't really make sense for your business, personal opinions on things, you want to stay away with that. That can potentially drive customers away depending on whether they agree with those opinions or not, or whether if you just do posts that don't feel like the quality of the business is there or calls the integrity of the business into question. And other best practices, you want to aim for 5 to 7 posts a week. And what that means is, Monday through Friday, find a way once a day to work in a post. I know for a lot of businesses that can be time consuming, but here's what I tell businesses. The most consuming time part of Facebook is finding content to post. But again, you're pulling in business with those posts, new customers, potential customers, and also customers that want to know what's up with the business. What are your current sales? What are your current promotions? I liken it to a phone. If you were in your office and your phone was ringing, you wouldn't not answer that call. And it's the same thing with Facebook. You want to put those posts out there and reply to them, keep that engagement going. That's going to bring those customers into your business or your online shop. Okay, to boost or not to boost. Now, for those of you that don't know this, we'll go bare basics. You do have the capability to put a budget behind behind posts on Facebook. And what I recommend is small budgets. And again, you want to look for organic reach. So a boosted post is, say that I put out a message today, Speaking Socially is offering $500 off of new website sales. I might wait, see if people are interacting with that post, and then I might go back and choose to put a $20 budget behind it. What that $20 is going to do is ensure that Facebook serves my post to more people within the demographics that I choose. So what that means is people that, if I choose, don't already like my page. Again, I want to build my audience to people that mimic or match or look like my current consumer base to get more customers. You should consider boosting posts that have performed well organically and have good engagements, okay? It can be something silly. If you run a dog grooming business and you post a funny meme off of a dog and you get 400 people that like that post, 67 people share it, and people are talking below about, yeah, my dog really looks like that, my dog needs a grooming. That's a great post that you want to allocate some small budget behind to encourage people to see that post that might not like the page. People that might be in nearby cities that drive there frequently. For example, in Great Falls, we get a lot of traffic from the High Line. And again, to build that, the more relevant likes, the more options you have for organic reach to help with other posts in the future. Now, do use the targeting features to select your demographic. When you go to boost a post, you will see that you can select age ranges, location, radius of location in the boosted post. You can even select things based on people's interest or other pages that they've interacted with in the past. These are things that you'll want to familiarize yourself with. I could do 8 hours on that topic alone, but just to breeze over it. So don't be afraid to play with those things. Again, do small budgets. You can boost a post for $5 or $10. If it doesn't work, well, you're out of $5 or $10. It's cheaper than you would have spent to boost something on the radio or in a magazine. And if it performs well, you can allocate additional budget later on. And you can see that was my next topic. Do start with a small budget and increase it if it performs well. Don't boost posts that are irrelevant or performed poorly. Again, I kind of covered this topic earlier. If you do a post and nobody interacts with it, you don't get any thumbs up, you don't get any likes, there's something about that post that really isn't resonating with your customer base. Now, you have a couple options there. You can do what we call A/B testing in marketing. You could try and post that exact same message later with a different picture and see if that helps. You could do the same thing with the same picture and a different image. Find out what works for your customers, okay? Reaching that audience, learning about them, is how you're going to continue to build on your customer base. And Paul, I know I'm going 90 miles a minute here. Did anybody have anything yet that we need to take a second and stop for?
No questions yet. Keep going. You're doing great.
Everybody's glossed over. No questions. Okay, next thing, ads versus boosts. They're similar in a lot of ways, and therefore they can be confusing for new businesses that are starting out on Facebook when they're attempting to find customers. So ads display in a variety of different places versus just the news feed. So when you log into Facebook and you're looking at people's Facebook pages and you're scrolling through your feed, if you do a boosted post, it's only going to show in that feed. So the space that you're scrolling through. You see it a lot of times when you see a post that comes up and it says sponsored underneath the business's logo or profile image. What ads do are allow you to display in there. You can also appear in Messenger. I'm sure you've started noticing those, that sometimes when you're looking through your Messenger contacts, there'll be an ad there that you can message a particular business. They can appear in the right sidebar. They can appear on Facebook partner networks. And more importantly, they can appear on Instagram, which is important depending on the demographic that your business primarily serves to. Number two, they allow you a more targeted approach. A very simple area that I will tap in on this is you can choose whether the people that you're targeting live, say, in a 20-mile radius of Great Falls, if they are traveling through Great Falls, or if they have recently been here. That's just one of the areas in ads that you have control over that are different than if you were to try and boost a post. And number three, you can have different ads, goals, styles, and variants. You can choose within a Facebook ad whether you want to lead people back to your website. You can track conversions on your website. If I am an online boutique and I want to sell a particular dress, Facebook will allow me to create an ad for that and then go back and test and see how many people actually came from Facebook to my website and added that dress or purchase to their cart, and whether the cart was successful or it was abandoned. Those are things that go beyond the basics of what you can do with a boosted post. I'm going to back up here for a second. The other thing with ads is you can do, like we said, a variety. So you can do more testing with the ads. I was just talking about A/B testing a moment ago. You can run this same ad with two different images, and then you can look and see which one is performing better with your customer base, and then shut down the other ad and put your allocated budget behind that one to perform better. You can do video ads. You can do carousels, which is one ad that has multiple pictures. You really have to get back into the back of the Facebook page manager and look at the different options for ads and play around when you're first starting out, unless you have the funds to hire a consultant agency to go through and help you with those things, because the options are pretty limitless. And so in closing, before I get to this, I want to go back and cover one thing quickly that I think is imperative to finding and getting new customers on Facebook, and that was reviews. And I apologize that I didn't put more of a slide in here to cover that. As a consumer, I'll be very honest with you, whenever I learn about a new business or I'm going to purchase something, the first thing that I always look at are the reviews. And I'm not looking for the positive reviews. I want to find the negatives. I want to find the 1 stars on there. And I know that terrifies 95% of the businesses that we work with on social media. Well, people are going to put things that aren't true. People are going to put horrible reviews because they were a previous employee. Those things are not untrue. But what those 1-star reviews will tell me is how you as a business handle your customer service. If I see the 1-star review of the person that says, I went into the sandwich shop and my sandwich was cold, but the business responded back within a reasonable amount of time, 24 hours or less. We're so sorry this was your experience. Come in, you can have a free sandwich on us. We're sorry you had this experience. We don't have any record of anybody actually coming in on this day and purchasing this. That is more likely to make me become a customer of a business and feel that your business is a trusted brand. I can see there was a complaint. I can see that you had good customer service and you dealt with it. Especially more and more, we're seeing bots and other kinds of services that offer review services that only post positive reviews. That's great, but there's no business in the world that has positive rankings 100% of the time. There's always something separate, that's happened, whether, like I said, it's been a disgruntled employee or not. And it's a perfect time for you as a business to show people how you react to those. Rebecca, I'm looking at your comments. Yes, it does. It does do that. But unfortunately, there are a ton of people that try things and then they get sent to Facebook jail. But it is an important part that Facebook terms of service do prohibit you from trying to sell things on a personal page. But what I mean more by that is, okay, say I own a downtown shoe store and I'm on my personal page and I'm reminding people, don't forget to come down. My shoe store has a sale this week. Share this with your friends. That's, more so of what I'm talking about is using the business page to do those things and not just trying to promote a business through your personal page without having an official presence for it. Back to those reviews. You can shut off reviews on Facebook of your page if you are very concerned with it. But again, it gives you an opportunity to see what your current customers are feeling, how you want to reach out to them and respond to that so that you can engage new customers. I can't tell you the amount of times people have gained new business off of replying to negative reviews. And there are negative people out there. There are people that are going to post the occasional bad thing because maybe they were an employee that had to be let go because they didn't show up to business on time. Facebook consumers are usually pretty good from my experience of seeing when that is the case. And the other thing is, people that are diehard supporters of the business will come in and leave a positive review. I've never had this kind of experience. I've shopped with this business for 20 years. They've always been kind and courteous, etc. And those things will help you build your business up. I know we're almost out of time. I've run through things very quickly. I'm so sorry. Again, this is a topic that I could talk about for numerous hours. So in closing, respond quickly. We're not a billboard. When you do those posts and people come in and they comment, I love your store. Take the 3 seconds, even if it's at the end of the day, to go back and say, hey, Mary, thanks so much. We love having you as a customer. Build your engagement. That is going to build your reach and your customer base. Keep them engaged. It's that same thing. Ask them questions. We started releasing this new product last week. How do you feel about it? Have you been using it? It gives people an opportunity to interact with each other on the post, get direct feedback from you and feel like they actually have some influence on the business, and again, build the organic reach of that post. And most importantly, it creates happy customers. Word of mouth is still the best PR that you can get in this world. Despite everything else, it doesn't matter. People are 89% more likely to try out a business that's been referred by a friend than they are other sources. So by keeping them happy, by keeping them engaged, you'll build that organicness, you'll build your word of mouth and your PR, and you'll be able to find new customers for your business. Good luck, everybody.
John, thank you so much. Great information. There are a couple questions there, and it looks like some others are typing in now. So just wanted to bring those to your attention, and I'll let you read through those and respond as you can.
Well, thank you, Brad. I'm glad you're not a bot. And Mackenzie, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Again, if any of you have questions, if there were specific things that I touched on today that you really want more in depth, you can always feel free to reach out to me here at Speaking Socially. I know the GFDA has some great resources for you as well to assist you in that area. But again, Facebook is a thing all on its own, and I don't want anybody to feel ashamed for not knowing these things. It's a learning curve. And I work in Facebook every day, and I will be more than happy to tell you things change very quickly, and it's a learning process for me every day too. So don't be ashamed, don't be afraid to get help when you need it, and don't be afraid to get your business present on Facebook. It's the direction that business is going. You wouldn't have a telephone these days because everybody needs a phone. People need to be able to communicate with your business. So, don't be like the person back in the 40s or 50s. No, I'm not going to have a good phone. If somebody wants to come into my business, they're going to walk down here. Get with the digital trends, because what Facebook allows you to do is have the exact same leverage as your larger competitors. If Starbucks is on Facebook and you're a small mom and pop shop, you can get free advertising and build that same kind of brand consistency that will help you compete and stay relevant.
Excellent. John, a couple of other questions. I just wanted to make sure those previous questions were answered adequately about the business page and the personal page. Rebecca's also followed up. Any advice on groups for businesses? I have a group with 120 members, and Facebook still only shows my posts to 1 to 2 at a time.
Okay, yeah. So, and here's the thing, Rebecca, too. I will tell you, a lot of that can depend too on what your followers are following. If you have a friend that has 4,000 friends on Facebook, their feed is going to be very clogged with things. And unfortunately, more boosted posts or things of that nature will be required for them to actually see those. I would be interested to take a look in seeing at what you're posting and what the engagement rates on those are, to try and help you figure out a way to get that to a larger audience. I'm assuming if you're doing that, you have access to your statistics. Look on the page's insight, see when primarily your demographic is on. This reminds me of one more thing, Paul, and I know we're over, but look and see when they're on, Rebecca, and try and do some more paged posts aimed at that time and see if that helps your organic reach. I have a plea for all of you that I forgot, and this is what I don't want you to do. Please do not Google, Facebook insights and see that there's one post that was written by somebody that says if you're in the retail industry, your best time to post is Thursday at 2 p.m. That is a paint splash approach, and it doesn't work for every business, especially here in Montana. We're small businesses usually. We have different demographics. What works for the giant retailer in New York that sells nationwide isn't necessarily the best practice for your business in our town of 30,000 people, 1,500 people based on posting. So please take those insights when you see them and you read them with a grain of salt, and really spend time looking at what's working best for your business based on engagement, reaction, and of course, sales.
Great, John. A few other.
Do you have to boost a post in order to target the right demographic? Yes. You can do a post and control who sees it based on your page. So I could go and say, I want to do this post about product A and only have women that like my page see it primarily today, but that only pertains to people that are already fans of the page and follow it. So Catherine, yes, to target a demographic, you would need to boost the post.
Robin asked,
Angela,
sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Robin asked, I have a Christian art biz. What would be an example of a question I could ask for engagement?
A Christian art biz, a question for engagement. If you post regularly photos of the art, whether they're watermarked or not, ask people, what's been your favorite thing that we've seen so far? Post if you have a new artist coming that perhaps paints in a different style, maybe they're more abstract. I'm sorry if that doesn't apply to Christian art. Ask the consumers, what do you feel about this style of art? What does it invoke for feelings for you when it comes to Christian art? Do you like this, or do you like a more traditional style? Easy things like that. Really, that engagement is making people feel like, as customers, that their opinions and their feelings about your product are relevant to you. And they should be, because that's going to allow you to curtail and tailor that product to make it more palatable and sellable to that audience.
That's great, John. I did want to give Tyler an opportunity to get online here, so maybe as folks are typing in their final questions, I'll introduce Tyler Menzel. And Tyler, do you want to introduce yourself? And you had a few words that you wanted to provide.
Sure. So for those of you who have yet to meet me, I work here at GFDA. I am GFDA's marketing associate, and I also counsel small businesses on the SBDC side as a small business development business counselor. I just wanted to thank everyone for hopping on this webinar today. It's a lot of great information. Thank you, John, for all of that. And I just wanted to reiterate, so like John had mentioned, we do offer services here through GFDA and the Small Business Development Center. I consult with clients regarding marketing strategy, though I do really want to say, if you have questions regarding spending money on Facebook, or you really, really want to dive in deep with Facebook, John is the person to go and see. I know John really well, and he'll tell you if I ever have a question, he's usually the first person I turn to. I did want to mention, for those who are interested, on March 7th, it's a Thursday, at 11 a.m., we are going to have another marketing-related webinar, and that is finding customers on Instagram. John mentioned it a little bit. There is some compatibility between the two platforms. Facebook owns Instagram. So there's a lot of capabilities that you have between the two shared platforms. I also wanted to mention as well, although marketing is very important, and I'll be one of the first people to tell you that, I wanted to mention that we do offer cost management strategies here at GFDA as well. Many times, in addition to needing to market and target new customers, a lot of times businesses also need to look at cost management strategies as well as a as a business solution. And the final thing, I'll be sending out an evaluation to all of you via email. Tell us what you loved about the webinar. Tell us what you loved maybe a little bit less about the webinar. It helps us to plan for future ones. And I will also send a registration link to the Instagram webinar through that email as well. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. And John, if you wouldn't mind putting in your email and your website, I think it would be great for people to go that route if they have questions for you.
Yeah, of course, I would be more than happy to do that. GFDA is the Great Falls Development Authority. Sorry, there was a question from Mackenzie McQueen down there. They just launched a brand new website that is very beautiful. That is growgreatfalls.com. Is that correct? Growgreatfalls.org. Is that correct, Tyler?
growgreatfallsmontana.org. Yep.
That you can go and learn all about the GFDA and what they can offer you as a small business and help you grow.
Excellent.
I just typed something. I think I ended it halfway. 1 second, Paul. I'm sorry. Catherine had asked a question. Rebecca, you are correct with your answer to her. Catherine asked, I've seen promotions on Facebook that engage people by asking them to make a comment like this post and share the post. With that, how does the business owner know who met this criteria? As an admin on the page, you are able to click that post and look at it and see who has commented. You can hover over the icons, whether it's the smiley face or the heart, and see the names of the people that have done that. If you click on those names, it should show you some brief profile information about them, including whether they liked your page or not, which is helpful in promotions that you say, you know, comment below and like this page. That'll help you ensure that you're not choosing a winner that hasn't followed the stipulations of your contest.
Great. Thanks, John. I think we've answered all the questions. You can scroll up there, John, to see if there's anything else that I may have missed in the questions that folks have typed. While you're doing
I think
that,
we got them all.
go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, I'm just going to put my email in here really quickly. So if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will do my best to answer them for you. Please understand that I do work in this every single day. So sometimes if you're not understanding the way I've answered your question, don't feel bad to fire back and be like, this isn't making sense to me. You know, when we work in things for a long time, we tend to forget that people that are just diving in, sometimes the terminologies might not make sense. And I don't want you to hesitate to say that if I've answered something in a way that's not being clear to you.
That's great. I think we've addressed all the questions. So with that, I'm going to say thank you to Tyler for the work with the sponsorship of this series, and John, of course, thank you for the great information that you've provided us today. And I hope that our participants will follow up with John if you do have questions. So with that, going once, going twice, no more questions. I'll say thanks everybody for joining us today. Have a great Thursday, and we'll see you next month with the next small business webinar. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day, everybody. Stay warm.